Hi, and welcome to Enchantment of Eternity's review of Better Call Saul, Season 1, Episode 5, Alpine Shepherd Boy. Now, this is going to be a real quick review because, honestly, I don't have much to say about this episode. Even more than last week's, I found it to be a cog in the machine. I don't think it's a filler episode. I don't think that's the right word for it because I wouldn't really call anything in this episode filler, as I think it is setting up a lot. But this isn't the kind of episode you wait to see because basically nothing really happened in it. It basically did its job in leaving the audience wanting to know what will happen next. I think by far the most interesting part of this episode was the storyline with Saul's brother Chuck. We learned a lot more about his condition, and the misunderstanding with the police was really fascinating. Towards the end, when they were in the hospital, I was wondering if Saul would commit him, but it doesn't look like he will, but I could see he was definitely considering it. I think something's going to happen with Chuck by the end of the season, but we'll just have to wait and see. When Saul was talking to Chuck about old Slippin' Jimmy, that had me thinking that that's basically what Saul does revert to eventually by the time of Breaking Bad. Well, he does in a way, so I was thinking something's going to happen to Chuck where he's no longer in Saul's life. I personally think estrangement is more likely than death, because if Chuck died, you think Saul would feel guilty about reverting to his old Slipping Jimmy behavior. But one thing's clear, he was wrong about the billboard thing just being a one-time thing. And the scenes at the start of the episode with Saul meeting his potential clients were funny. I was totally fooled by the cowboy. At the start, I thought he was really going to give Saul $1 million, so it was hilarious when he pulled out this cash with his own face on it. Though, interesting side note, there actually are some towns, small towns across the globe that have succeeded from the country that they belong in, although their parent nation doesn't really recognize it as such. However, they operate as if they're their own nation. There's one in Australia that the Australian government do recognize as its own nation to a certain extent in order to take advantage of tax loopholes. But for the most part, it's not legitimately its own nation. So I was fooled for that scene, but when we got to the next scene with the guy talking about his great invention, I wasn't fooled. I knew it was going to be something really ridiculous and silly. And it was funny how Saul was actually honest with the guy about how stupid it was. And the whole thing about the talking toilet, I mean, come on, man. It's funny stuff. So the episode ends with a switch in focus to Mike, which for the most part I found a bit too slow-paced and boring. To me, it wasn't the best way to end an episode, except for the part where the cops show up at his door. But everything before that I found really boring. But mostly I'm just really intrigued, and I really want to know what's going to happen with Mike. I'm so curious as to how they're going to tie him back with Saul. So my rating for Alpine Shepherd Boy is a 6. Good. There were some real funny moments and interesting storyline with his brother, but for the most part not much happened and was a bit slow-paced. So that's it for my review of Alpine Shepherd Boy. You should check out my channel for other TV reviews and make sure you subscribe to keep up with my future Better Call Saul videos. And thanks a lot for watching.